this video, we're going to make a custom template because we're going to start creating substance files and we don't want to keep just adding the same outputs all the time. So let's create a template that we can now base all of our future substances off of. So here, I'm going to go to File and New Substance, and I'm going to choose just a template that I want to start with. So here I'm going to use physically based metal rough. And here for this graph name, I'm just going to set this to PB underscore MR underscore and then AH for ambient occlusion and height. Now I'll just click OK and we create this graph. So here are the outputs that we have so far. Just as we have done in previous videos, we're going to need to just make some new outputs. So I'll hit the space bar and I'll choose output. And for this guy here, we're going to set the usage, and I'm going to make sure that I set this to ambient occlusion. Now I can just select this text here. Let's just copy it and then paste it here in the identifier. And here I'll do the same thing for the label and just clean it up a little bit like this. That takes care of our ambient occlusion. Let's do the same thing now for our height. So output, here we go. And our usage, we're going to set this to height. And again, I'll just copy this, paste, and then paste it here into the label, and then we'll set this to height. So this becomes my new substance template here, and in this particular case, I'm just concerned with making sure that I create these default outputs every time I create a new substance. So now that I have this package, I need to save it. So here, I'm going to save this into my tutorial folder. Let's create a new subdirectory. We'll call this ch04, and we'll just place it in here. All right, so now I have this new substance. So I don't need this anymore. We can just close this out. Now, in order for Substance Designer to know about this template, we need to add it to our preferences. And this is going to be the same kind of setup as we did in the previous video when we added a path to our library. So we need to go to Tools, Preferences, Projects. Now, here we're in the user project already, so let's just scroll down here until I find the section for Substance Templates. And then here I just need to set a new directory. So I'll just click this plus button here, and I can just go to the directory where I have the template, and it's already targeted here at this chapter 4. That's where I saved it. So let's just select this root folder. Then we click Apply and OK. Now, that's all we need to do. So next, let's go to File, New Substance, and you'll notice here that I can see that PBMRAH template that I created. When I select it, it's also going to show me my outputs. Here you can see my usages, and now we have this ambient occlusion and height. Now, notice here that my graph templates are being filtered by this project all. And what this refers to is, if we go back to Tools, Preferences, Projects, it's referring here to the project files that I have created. And like I said in the previous video, by default, we just have default and user. Default meaning that these are all of the settings that ship with Designer, which are default, and then this user project that we can set additional preferences on. Now, if you wanted, you could create your own project file together, but again, that's out of the scope of this video. So let's go back to that file, New Substance. And for project, I could actually filter this by user project. So here, this is going to be all the templates that I just use on, I guess, a daily basis, you would say. So if you want to have, multiple types of templates you want to choose from, and you only want to see those available to you because you don't need any of the other ones, you can just filter by your user project. So now that we have this set, we're ready to create our new graph.